I don't know what it is about video games and their current events right now, but it is not it. Welcome, everyone, to what I'm going to be calling the Weekly Yap. This is just going to be a small yap session about me complaining about something, either video game related or just something in the world entirely. And considering I have gained popularity at the very least on TikTok with Genshin Impact, I think it's fair for me to talk about this. It's been no secret that Hoyoverse, and for some reason specifically Genshin Impact, has been kind of stingy when it comes to rewards. But it's been more recently, now with the introduction of two new characters of Nicole and Lolhan, we are not getting enough rewards to even be able to pull for one character at this point. And this is coming from me. I am a day one player. I've been playing Genshin since literally almost release. The rewards have been hit or miss as time has gone by, but as of recently, it's felt like they're just shilling out on us. For some reason, they are not giving us an adequate amount. And one could say, oh, well, that's just how gacha games are. There are those people who apparently just defend Hoyoverse to the grave, saying, well, it's a gacha game, so of course it's going to be difficult to get wishes. I shouldn't say difficult, really. I should say that there are people out there that just kind of expect to be given rewards and handed them without even playing the game. Because if we're being completely honest, there are sometimes arguments that some players make that shouldn't be arguments in the first place. But anybody who has been a long-time veteran of this game can see that this is a growing problem when it comes to being able to get anything for at least one character. And realistically, it is almost impossible to get enough wishes for the character and the weapon that you want. Not to mention, of course, that you could possibly lose. You could possibly lose your 50-50 and get a character you don't want. And it is extremely disheartening losing your 50-50, especially when you're grinding this game every single day, only to not be able to get the character that you want. And it is funny, really, seeing people going from Genshin to other games like Star Rail or Zenless, more so Star Rail. And Star Rail kind of does give out wishes every patch. There is a daily login event usually when there's a new character introduced. And they've even given out free characters here and there, so obviously, yes, Star Rail is doing something better than Genshin here. That isn't to say that that game also doesn't have its own share of issues as well. Same thing with Zenless. But that's besides the point. We can talk about those games some other day. So what can us as Genshin players do to get more rewards from this game? Realistically, there isn't really much we can do. Especially if you're a long-term player, there are not that many options to be able to get a lot of rewards. Usually when it comes to long-term players, we've done literally everything in the game. The only things we really have to rely on are Imaginarium Theater and Spiral Abyss, and whatever events Genshin decides to pop out. I will say that it'll be probably up to the Genshin devs to maybe give us another kind of endgame content. Because in terms of the theater and Spiral Abyss, they reset just once a month, and that's not enough for essentially two characters coming in the same patch. I was also thinking that maybe they could remove the 50-50 like pity system, but I know they won't ever do that. They gain too much money from that. I heard there was some game out there that didn't have that pity system, that you just kind of like wished and wished until you got the character. I don't know what game it was, but that's just kind of wishful thinking. I think just introducing something new into the game to give us more rewards would benefit everybody. Or what they maybe could have done was given us more Primogem rewards through Miliastra. That little event thing that they forced on us that nobody plays. I don't know who is playing Miliastra enough that they are at least giving it more and more updates each and every patch. It's a nice concept, but they could have implemented it a little bit better, maybe even given us an incentive to play it with more rewards. And sometimes they do, but 60 Primogems is not enough for even one goddamn wish. So what's our solution in the end? With as big of an issue as this is, I do think that while yes, talking about it online is important, it's also important to let them know in-game as well. Usually Genshin does give out like these kind of monthly or so surveys that people can fill out. I try to fill out as many surveys as I can when they come, but I tend to be forgetful and they just kind of disappear after a while. But I think especially now it is important to let them know that hey, with the increasing amount of characters and weapons that they have in the game, I think it's important to increase the amount of rewards that we get. I get that this is meant to be a game to make money, right? It's a gacha game, but to an extent, you also have to keep your consumer happy. This is just like digital currency. It's not going to hurt their pockets if they give us 10 extra wishes each patch. they'll still have their whales, and they'll still have the people that are wanting to get copies of the characters to make them stronger. I'm kind of one of those people. I have spent some money to at least C6 a couple of my characters, but now I'm going to be kind of withholding that because I don't feel comfortable giving this company money for essentially not giving us much back. But that about does it. That's all I really wanted to get off of my chest when it comes to this game, because I do see the problems. Again, I am a day one player, but I see the problems that this game is kind of going down towards. Which makes me sad because honestly, this game is good. I love the game, I love the story and the music. I'm hoping with the amount of backlash that they're getting that they at least do something at the very least, but we'll see. So this concludes this week's Weekly Yap. Thank you guys so much for watching. And who knows, maybe next time we'll be here with good news, but knowing how Genshin is, it'll be something else to complain about.